I got to record locally, so now I'm going to say hi. This is Pat Baer. Welcome, welcome. I'm throwing the Bear Cave emote, the Lego emote, the Scythe emote in the chat. Solf renewed their subscription. Thank you, Solf. We also had Harold here who was hosting. Thank you, Harold. And Harold saying, OMG, Road Quest was so good. Carve it up, says Leo. Hello, Leo. Harold. Dude wants his rug. Lashbrook. Great people here and there. This is going to take a little second to focus. My webcam is in a different position than normal. Normally, my webcam is like right in front of me, low, angled up. But I got a pumpkin that I'm going to be putting here. And right now, you can barely see you can't see the pumpkin. But my normal viewing, you'd see the pumpkin. So we can't have that. Also, even though it is bad for the stream, I am wearing my giant bomb Halloween shirt, which is, as I said, bad on stream, green screen, but felt very appropriate for what we're doing here tonight, which is pumpkin carving. Yeah, I'd have to be this high to be in frame of this. So that's what. So I moved my webcam from where it normally is. It should be fine. We are carving a pumpkin, and if that does not take the length of the stream, I do have the Gundam Asteroid Blue frame to build. That's the next kit we're going to build. It's the last of the wishlist kits that came in, so I got that. Some of you may saw an ad before the stream started. You'll see an ad at the end of the stream as well, hopefully. I'm going to double check. I believe I've made a few pennies off of ads. Let's see. What is my current ad total? I have made, oh, that's the last period. It literally does not, 20 cents. I have made 20 cents from ad revenue. That's more than I've made on YouTube in the same amount of time. So that's good. Actually, let me, literally, I want to see how my AdSense is doing because of, perhaps, I did do pretty well with the first episode of Anime Club, Pat Baer's Anime Club. Episode 2 launched today. I will tweet out the link to that later. Yeah, I did pretty good. I'm about halfway to getting a payout from that. At least it's not H-Bomb and Friends shirt. That logo ruined by a green screen. Yes, certainly. Yeah, I mean, you can see Giant Bomb. It's just the green stem here isn't great. But in the overhead, it won't matter. You won't see it really when we go to carving. But yeah, we are going to carve a pumpkin tonight. Tools of the trade. We've got a Sharpie to draw what I want to do with this. We've got a knife that is pretty sharp. We've got an X-Acto knife for some corners, for tracing out what we're going to do once we use the Sharpie to do that before we get really in there, because there's not a lot of control with this knife. This is not a paring knife. Learn from my mistakes. You don't want a blade like this. That's too long a blade. You want a blade like this. You want a paring knife. You want a knife that you would be using to peel an apple, not cut a steak. It's not even serrated. You wouldn't cut a steak with this, but you know what I mean. And I got a spoon. Lord Crashing just subscribed. Hey, Pat, cut the shit out of that pumpkin. We will. We also have to scoop that pumpkin. And then, of course, a bag for all our stuff. Thank you also, Lord Crashington, for subscribing. Please follow suit with Solf and Lord Crashington. That when you renew your subscription, which is great when you do, please hit that notification so I know and we can give you a shout out. Let's throw the Bear Cave and Lego emote out there. We got a new follower, Ashley Jacques. Ashley, thank you very much for the follow. Appreciate it. And we'll throw the emotes in there. Say thank you. Oh, also, I finally did it. Y'all, I've got Nightbot commands. I finally put in some Nightbot commands. Most of them, it does not matter. I will just do them later. They're like shortcuts to links to my Patreon, links to my wish list, a few other things. But also, if you put exclamation point goose in the chat, Nightbot honks. And that's just important. That's just an important thing to do, is to do that. Oh, Leo did it. There's probably a delay on the honk. I feel like there's a delay on the honk. Maybe the other ones don't. I'm going to do... Uh-oh. Well, when I did it, it did it. Let me check. Maybe I didn't set Goose for every... No, I set it for everyone. Huh. Look, I also don't pretend to know what the fuck I'm doing. Let me check out Goose. Let me look in the settings here. I broke it. Probably has a request per minute. That's totally possible. Let's get Nightbot banned for spamming, right? Okay, let's see here. My commands. I want to go into that. I want to go commands. Y'all, I got as far as... I love that I got as far as making them, and I tested them, but then I didn't test them under, like, another account. So, let's see. Custom. Goose. Everybody. Edit. Alright. I changed the cooldown, so everything should be okay. Hopefully it'll work. Someone else type Goose in the chat and let's see what happens. I'm experimenting. I don't know. At the very least, if it doesn't work for all you, okay, good. It did. Leo put in Goose and it honked. Great. And then it honked again. Great. At the very least, I know all the commands I set up work for me. So if I do wish list or Patreon or donate, various things I've been, or Discord, if people mention the Discord, I can do Discord and it'll show up and you can join the Bill Bear Discord. So that's just what's happening. I've been meaning to do it for a long time. It took a couple of you trying to do it, just assuming that if they did exclamation point wish list, a link would show up. Like, you know, you'd expect a streamer to do. And I wasn't doing that shit. So I did that shit. Okay, let's go to the overhead. Let's look at this pumpkin. Hey, I got a pumpkin. It's got a big old stem on there, which we want. Now, this is the front of our pumpkin. Right here. This is the front of our pumpkin. It's probably going to be hard to tell, but the pumpkin is leaned back a little bit. It's got a lean to it, which I don't mind. I don't mind the lean. It does mean that when we take the top off, we will have to do something with the face, and it'll probably just be like chill. So this is already feeling like chill pumpkin. Also, not great on the back here, but that's the back of the pumpkin. We won't see that. It's okay. You'll see it, but it won't be done when it's done. So, first things first, we're gonna pop the top of our pumpkin. Now, if you watched my stream last year, I did a pumpkin carving stream. I worked with tiny pumpkins because I waited until almost Halloween to do my pumpkin carving, which is why we're doing it tonight, way earlier than last year. Last year I did it like 2 days before Halloween, and my local area did not have any big pumpkins left that weren't complete and utter garbage. There were pumpkins that you would maybe like paint, but you wouldn't carve. So I carved tiny little pumpkins that rotted immediately. This will not rot, especially if we really scrape out the innards. I do not plan on, in case you're wondering, I do not plan on baking the seeds or doing anything with the insides. I plan on throwing those away. I do not like the taste of pumpkin, and I don't think pumpkin seeds are good, so I'm not going to worry about it. All right, so I'm going to look at this. I'm going to kind of rough head shape it in my head. I'm not going to draw anywhere, but it's going to be like an eye, something, and a big old dumb mouth. Because if you watched my last one, I mentioned this, and I'll, of course, mention it here. I don't have a lot of artistic talent. I have a lot of enthusiasm, but I don't have a lot of talent when it comes to the arts. So without trying, my pumpkins range. They don't range in the scary. They range in the fun or silly, or goofy. That's my pumpkin carving technique. So we lean into that. So we're gonna do something there, do something there, do something there, which means we'll kind of go about here. And we'll probably go a little wide. I'll go pretty wide in the back and pretty shallow up front because we are going to have this. We're going to have a big forehead on our pumpkin if I do it this way, and that's what I'm looking for. So we'll do it like that. We'll do it like that. When carving, when you're doing this, the other trick is that we are going to be going in. We are going to be going, instead of going straight down, I'm not going to be going like this. I'll show you like that. I'm not going like this. I'm going to be going in. That will help us create a lid. It will mean that even as we're shaving and scooping, this will still fit on the top, because one of the things that can happen if you're not careful is that your lid will just fall into the pumpkin. Have I done that before? Of course I have. That's how you learn. So we're going to jump to X-Acto knife here. This blade is not the sharpest it could be, but in a pumpkin, it's fine. We are doing this so that we don't use our knife for this portion. X-Acto knife is just what we need here. We are just making cuts to make our knife cuts a lot easier. These are shallow. They are on an angle, as I said, to facilitate what we're going to do here, which is having a little bit of a lid that works. So we'll just do this. Yeah. So you can see the pumpkin here. I just Googled pumpkin, and I Googled jack-o'-lantern, and I was like, oh, I'll do that. But then I realized that if I put like a really cool design up, then people would be like, oh, you should do that. Like, I found a very incredibly great carving of a Squirtle, but I can't do that. I can't do that. I don't have that. I don't have that talent. I don't have that ability. Maybe y'all do. Hey, also, yeah, if you've done some cool pumpkins, if you're going to do something this season, if you've done it already, or you plan on doing it later, please share that with me. We've got that Discord. You could say in the Discord, I would love to see what you all get up to, but I don't have the ability to do that, to match that. I don't have that talent. I just have a desire to make a fun pumpkin friend. Obviously, this is going to get messy. I've got a free newspaper down here. This is the Brooklyn paper, which is very fun, to go and get yourself a free newspaper. I used to use The Onion back when you could just get The Onion for free anywhere, and it wasn't an online-only publication. When in New York, you could just go and get The Onion. That was my paper of record. But any free paper would do. And then we are going to clean this off because obviously we use this X-Acto knife for other things. Namely, I use this X-Acto knife for stickers. So, and we won't need that for a second. I can put that there. All right. So we've done that. We've scored it basically. And now I will slowly use my blade. And again, I'm going in on an angle. And I'm going to make cuts. And I'm going to be careful that I don't wreck the lid. And also I'm going to be very careful that I don't wreck myself. I'm going to check myself before I wreck myself. I apologize for all of the many camera shakes you will get as this table, as we start scooping out stuff and this gets lighter, there will be less shake. Not ground sales, does I miss Dr. Stone and My Hero Academia combo? Saturday's stream, we did talk about Dr. Stone, which we can talk about again, but what ended up happening was I was out all day on Saturday, and I didn't get a chance to watch My Hero Academia. So I will be talking that in the second hour after 10 p.m. when we do our anime check-in. I will talk about My Hero because I watched it yesterday. So we haven't talked about My Hero on the stream yet. Um, uh, I ended up watching We Never Learn, which is another Saturday show, instead on Saturday before the stream because I was really curious if they were fucking that show up or not. Whereas the My Hero episode I heard was good, and I wasn't concerned. So, but I did watch it. And as far as Dr. Stone goes, not Grind Style, we did talk about that on Saturday. I'll just say, it was a fucking great episode. And it led to the reveal that I think a lot of people saw coming, that something's up, and the priestess knows something. There was lots of science, indeed. There certainly was. There was also an incredibly very funny moment where the one of the heads of the village is like, I gotta watch this guy. I gotta keep an eye on him. And that is a response to Senku kicking a dude in the nuts or hitting a dude in the nuts with a stick. He was like, oh, this guy's smart. I gotta watch out for him. And I was like, that's pretty funny. But there was also a whole lot of science. You're right. And also, what's her name? Having a lot of energy, but because she's been sick with pneumonia for so long, nobody really knew that she had like all that energy, and her running around real fast was like, one, very funny, and two, heartwarming. Because you're like, oh, she's better. Hell yeah. And the old man half admitting that he's part of the Village of Science. He's like, I am too, I guess. I don't know how that happened. As I said, if you ever need me to get on board with your show, introduce a cool old person, and I can usually get on board. But yeah, Dr. Stone, it's good. Cool buff old person, indeed. Yes, if they are physically awesome or just have a lot of knowledge. We'll talk about the anime later that came out, My Hero, and we'll talk about One Piece, and we'll talk about Didn't I Say to Make My Abilities Average in the Next Life, which, hey, spoiler alert, that's a good show. You should be watching that show. It's good. It's funny and fun. Yes. Oh, yeah. The thing is that Roshi has his moments of being incredible and awesome, but also is gross. And in Dragon Ball, it was kind of okay because he was gross, but, he did a lot of cool, awesome stuff as well. And then as Dragon Ball Z happens, he does less awesome stuff. And so you're just left with him being comic relief, and it's a bummer. And then in Super, he does have a redeeming arc. He did destroy the moon. He also fought as Jackie Chun. He wore a disguise to fight in the martial arts tournament because he was afraid that if Goku and Krillin did too well, they would get full of themselves, which is also like, okay, but they have every right to be full of themselves. They're very skilled martial artists, and you train them to be even better than they were. But whatever. All right, so I've done the first cut here. I'm now continuing to make cuts. I am doing deep cuts here. I am trying to figure out, at some point, we will have to start pulling because all underneath here are fibers, pumpkin fibers, holding this in place. So we have to make cuts to pry that out. We're now making deep cuts. We're using the saw method here. Again, we are going in at an angle to prevent the lid from caving in, to make a nice lid. Wasn't he gross towards Bulma in Dragon Ball? Yes! Not grind style. He certainly was. You are not wrong. But in Dragon Ball, Goku's gross without realizing what he's doing. We meet a bunch of characters just not being cool. A lot of characters aren't cool in Dragon Ball, but then they do cool stuff, and you're like, and you like get over it. I'm just saying, once you get to Dragon Ball Z, Master Roshi's not doing cool shit. Master Roshi doesn't beat up a bunch of people who are bad people a lot in Dragon Ball Z. So you're just left with this old man. And you're like, all right, come on. Come on, dude. All right, and our lid is out. We did it. We did it all, y'all. We did it. All right, spoon. I'm going to take our bag. We're going to cut off part of the lid here. Get some of these fibers off. Our pumpkin does not seem to be, it seems to be good. I'm going to show you in here. Are you going to cook those seeds? No, not ground style. I don't like pumpkin. I don't like the taste of it. I don't like the seeds. I don't like the guts of it. This is all going to go into compost. We are composting it. It won't go directly into trash. It will go to compost. Because we do have a compost thing. But, we picked up with the city, and they will take care of it. But, yeah. This does not seem to be rotten or diseased, which is a great sign. It means our pumpkin should last until Halloween, which is what we want. It's been pretty mild outside lately. It got a little warmer today, but hopefully it'll be cool enough outside that on the stoop this will be fine. That's the hope anyway. All right, so I'm just trimming this off here, making my handle go on a little smoother, trying to avoid the edge and just get off all the guts on there so that we can then put our lid on like that. And there's our lid. Our lid goes on. The face is going to be over here. Lid goes on. Heck yeah. All right. I'm going to put our lid aside because we don't need it right now. And now we do the process of scooping. We're going to cut, and we're going to scoop, and we're going to cut, and we're going to scoop, and we're going to cut, and we're going to scoop, and we're going to cut, and we're going to scoop. That's the idea. Just get your knife in there and really start just chopping at the seeds, going for it. Also, at a certain point, we'll stop. We'll do the face, and then we'll get some of the inside stuff out there. Reminder for me that I'm saying out loud is we're going to try to make sure that we don't do anything to the rim so that we don't cause a cave-in with our lid, which is why we will probably just scrape up there with the spoon, and we'll lose some of it, but hopefully we won't lose enough that it won't cave in on itself. I spent most of time yesterday watching a bunch of old 404ing it from packs past, and boy, 2013, Pat had a surprising head of hair. That's right, Leo. There's a whole generation of people that like what I do and like me, that have liked me for now a couple years, that don't know that I used to not shave my head, and I used to instead have hair. Now it won't show up in 404ing it videos, but if you watch a PAX Giant Bomb panel from a couple years ago, or any other panel where I was in the front row, you will see the bald spot back here. It's not bad, and many people had much worse. But I had a point where I would see that and that, or I would see it in some League of Heels videos, and I just really didn't like seeing that bald spot. And it was getting more. And it was getting to be a thing. And my hair was thinning. My hairline was receding. And so one day I just got rid of it. And my plan was, well, if this doesn't look terrible, I'll just do this for a while. Vinny held on. Yes, Vinny held on for a long time. And, of course, he's in far more videos than me, and you can watch it way more gradually. Many people have held on. I did it pretty early. I wanted people to remember, Pat used to have hair, Pat shaves his head. And I wanted people to maybe, hopefully, forget the Pat's hair is thinning portion of my life. So I decided to just chop it off, and I didn't know that I was going to become a bandana guy. That was not necessarily part of the plan in the beginning. That happened because, turns out, I sweat a lot, and the hair was keeping that sweat in my hair. And so when I shaved it all of a sudden I was just sweat was pouring down my face because I did it in like May, and I was like, oh, well this sucks. How do I fix that? Bandanas. So I bought. I had a couple. I had the Bastion bandana. I had a my brother and me bandana from the year that was a reward for Maximum Fun. I had a few things, bandanas, and then I bought 12 on Amazon. And now I've since bought 12 more. I have a bunch of bandanas. I've got a Samurai Champloo. Hell yeah, bandana. And I didn't mean it as a dig at all. No! Leo, it wasn't meant as a dig. In the same way that people that get into what I do now, you might find a random episode of television that I'm on. And that's, to me, going, hey, I didn't know you used to have a lot of hair, is the same as you saying, hey, were you in an episode of Broad City? Because even if you watched that episode when you didn't know me, you're not going to recognize me. Or you're catching up on a show you never watched and you didn't know I was in an episode. So, like, to me, that's the same thing. When people are just like, hey, did you have, like, a decent amount of hair? Be like, yeah. Yes, I did. Yes, I am in an episode of Broad City. I am the Wisdom Tooth episode. You will see me. I am not a comedian in it. I am obviously a comedy person, but I am definitely not saying comedy lines, but I'm very happy to be included. I was in an old years ago when they were a web series. I did a bit in that, and so I was very happy to do another bit in the TV show. It was very nice. But yeah, it's very funny because people who like will catch it, like they'll do whatever, and they'll just be like, wait, I know that guy. But they didn't know me when it aired. All right. I am scraping. I'm scooping. I'll get the knife going in later in a bit. Chris says, I found it. We got a lot of pumpkin guts in here. So now I'm going to do the first shake. This is the big one. This is the big one, folks. This is the first shake. Hello. Hello, Christian. All right. I'm going to dump this like this. Going to try not to make a huge mess. Oh, pumpkin guts. Oh, we got to shake the pumpkin. Shake out the guts. Ugh, gross. Oh, pumpkin guts. Oh, pumpkin guts. Ugh. Buh. And then we'll get in there with a knife. Cut around. Get in there with a spoon. Buh. It's like seeing the Coke chugging bit from Giant Bomb and people being unrecognizable. Yeah, some of the early Giant Bomb, I could see you being like, wait, I don't know who these people are. I'm bummed because I bought a copy of Minish Cap at the local retro store, and it turned out to be bootleg as hell. Oh, Lashbrook, that fucking sucks, man. I'm sorry. You shouldn't have to fucking have a magnifying glass. Oh, my webcam got weird. Having a magnifying glass and having, like, a cheat sheet just to go and buy a game. That sucks. Sorry about that. And then, oh yeah. So the clip that Christian put in there was a promo clip from the episode, and it is my entire element. I'm just in that. It was cool because the promo for that episode, let's try to get me back, was me, which is really fun. But I am clearly not the funny part of the episode. I wish that was digitally available anywhere. Broad City. I'm going to go to Decider. Decider knows better than anyone how to watch things. I will say I believe it's available on iTunes. I have not seen a check from them in a while, but it is a SAG-AFTRA show. So I have in the past, and maybe again, gotten random checks from them, which is awesome. I am not in the union, but since it's a union show, they've taken care of me. Uh, all right, it's not telling me exactly where to get it. Whatever, it's showing up on other things. Um, Show me a bunch of nonsense. I just want to know where it is. Just tell me how to watch it, decider. Whatever. It's not telling me where. It's not telling me how to find it. Whatever. It's out there. Broad City is Hulu, but I think that meant Minish Cap. Oh, Leo, you meant Minish Cap. Yes, not ground style. I do enable comedy. While I am not the funny thing happening there, I am keeping the thing going by just being very deadpanned and very tired. Hint, I was very tired. We got to, uh, if you want to film at a Whole Foods in Gowanus, you got to get there real early because they want to open. They will open late, but they still want to fucking open. So you got to get there real early. So I was there real early, and we did my scenes, and it was fun, and I had a good time. And we did a couple alt takes, and we did one where I kind of went on a run and said a lot of stuff, but they didn't use that one, which is fine. They didn't have to. But they let us improvise a little bit. They did a couple of improv takes. Uh, and I did one where I kept asking her questions uh, and leading questions because I thought that would be fun. And another one where I was like, cool, cool. So, you bought a bunch of weird stuff. I did get the line that I was hoping that they would let me use, which was, hey, I'm not supposed to ask, but what's going on? And I was hoping they would use that because then I would get more lines and maybe they would have to pay me more. But as I said, because Broad City is a union, was a SAG-AFTRA show, I have been taken care of, and I have gotten residuals when they've sold it, like season 2 sold in France, and I get like some money, some monies. They're always surprise checks, and I always tweet about it when I get them. You met Minish Cap. Yes, I also wish Minish Cap was available places that you could just get Minish Cap easily. Someday, maybe someday you will. I don't know. I don't know anything about it. All right, I'm just getting my spoon in here and just really shoving my spoon in here and just scraping around, trying to get stuff going. You go in with the knife and you just start making cuts because you don't really care about the bottom too much. Like if I get a bunch of cuts in the bottom, as long as I don't make my mouth too deep, you won't see the bottom anyway. So I've made that mistake before, but we should be okay. So yeah, so I'm just going in here, just making cuts. I'll clean this up after. I'm not really worried. And I'm also checking the bottom for rot or anything like that, anything that I have to scrape out or avoid or be careful of. And I don't see any rot. Despite the dirt on this pumpkin, this is a good pumpkin. So I'm very happy about that. I've had a few stinkers. I will also say, this pumpkin cost me like $5. So like, oh no, I got a pumpkin, I carved it for y'all, and then I got rid of it because it's a rotten pumpkin. I'm not worried about that. As long as I can carve it, that's what I care about. But I also want to put it on my stoop. I want to put it on my stoop and see if my landlord goes, hey, what? Because my both my landlords like to hang out on the steps. And I don't know if they're going to be cool with me just leaving a carved pumpkin. I used to take my pumpkins to work. When I worked at the Upright Citizens Brigade Theater, I would always carve pumpkins and bring them to work. I don't have that luxury right now. I don't know if I can bring a pumpkin to the theater that I work at twice a week. I guess I can find out. So I'm hoping I can just put it outside and it'll be cool. Are there any good amount of money or like when I see some actors get checks for a couple of cents? So, Lord Crashington, if I was in the union, I would get checks a lot. But because I'm not union but worked on a union show, they just send it to me in batches. So it's not like 10 cents. But sometimes it's $10. And every once in a while, it's like 100 something bucks because they like sold a whole season to like and it's a bunch of international things. But sometimes it's like iTunes sales, $10. But yeah, it's always nice. It's never like, ugh. It's always like, oh, cool. It's great. It occasionally is, I'm going to buy a model kit, or I'm going to buy, I'm going out to dinner this weekend, to 3 nights in a row, or whatever. Like, it's cool. Um, I'm grateful for it. I will say, I used to complain about the Hulu show that I did, and how they never protected me. It was a union show, but I've never been taken care of on that show. I did get one residual check from that show once. Also, that show was for Hulu, not on Comedy Central, and then later it was only on Hulu, and it was only a couple lines because they ended up airing only like two of my lines, and then also that show was on its last season. So surprise money's pretty great. Yes. Oh, uh, after work, my boss texted me that we get a bonus this month on our next check. Leo, that's awesome. Surprise bonuses are the best. Um, Reverse of it. Last year, writings on the wall. I don't get a Christmas bonus from UCB after years and years of getting a Christmas bonus. I didn't get a Christmas bonus, and I used to get a pretty good bonus. And they now legally they don't have to say they aren't going to give you a bonus, but they did not say, and they should have said something, because I was a manager, and it would have been nice to know that I wasn't getting a bonus that year. That was, and of course, a month later I get laid off. But still, tell me I'm not getting it something. Don't just not give it to us. Yeah, that was, oof is the right word. Like, I didn't spend the money, but I also was expecting it, because any extra, I wasn't doing a lot of extra work, not extras and things, just like I wasn't doing a lot of side gigs, because also there aren't side gigs to do in December. Nobody has money for side gigs. You're not getting freelance stuff in December. I'm probably not going to go visit my folks at Christmas. I think I'm going to go see them in January, because I'd rather not take time off. And if the theater I'm working at has shows, I want to work at those. And the job I'm starting tomorrow with training, it is a full-time position, 40 hours a week if I want it. But it does have an end date. Well, I am hoping that they will consider keeping me in case anybody who does work there full-time leaves, because that does happen. It does have an end date. Theoretically, I could do this job from South Carolina visiting my folks. I could just work next to them, but I think I'm going to keep close to home and not travel this year for Christmas. That also means that I'll be able to stream, and I won't have to worry about that, because I'm hoping to do that as well. And it means that I won't miss the Giant Bomb podcast if that ends up happening, which, considering that Austin now is a freelancer, I just hope does, because I hated that I had to miss it. Because the only time that worked for everybody was when I was flying back from South Carolina last year, which is why I wasn't on it. It fucking sucked. I haven't listened, because I was mad. I'll admit it. I was mad. I was mad that scheduling didn't work out and I couldn't do it, because I really love doing it. Also, just Austin Walker's an incredible DM. I was just mad I didn't get a chance to do a game with him. He's so good. Hi from Charlotte, North Carolina. Well, hi, Mark. Hello to Charlotte, North Carolina. I was just mentioning South Carolina, which I know is a different place, but my folks live outside of Myrtle Beach in South Carolina, and I am planning on not going to see them this Christmas. They might come and see me and stay in Brooklyn and see me, which I like the idea of, up until the point where they want to do Christmas dinner here in my apartment, which I do not want to do. So we're right now conversing about that. They might come up, because I don't think I'm going to take time off and go, which is a bummer. All right, we are still digging into this pumpkin. Eventually, we're going to call this done. Right now, I'm using the spoon to scrape. You can hear it. And then, I'll clean this up later. We're getting these stuff here. Basically, you can look in the pumpkin. You can see there's still stuff, and we don't want stuff anymore. It's probably time to do another dump. There's still a couple seeds left in there. But yeah, we're not going to do a perfect job. We'll do a good enough job for us to move on to the next part of the pumpkin, which is the face. We got to put a face on it. We got to start getting a face going in there. But yeah. A game of knifey spoony, says Lord Crashington. Indeed. We're about to retire the knife for a moment and get into the spoon part. Also, this is a silly thing I can share with you about technique when it comes to pumpkin carving. When you're done carving a pumpkin, change shirts because you have pumpkin guts on your shirt. Now, if you're wearing a black shirt like me, you might not even notice it. But right now, my hands and my shirt smell like pumpkin. And if that's your fucking dream, if that's your deal, that's great. But if you, like me, are going to try to go, get a late night slice of pizza after you're done streaming tonight, because it's pizza time, you smell like pumpkin. And you should acknowledge that you smell like pumpkin and clean up. That's just a pro tip from me to you. Hey, you carved a pumpkin? You smell like pumpkin. In it, Leo, it's pizza time, indeed. What day was it? What was it? Oh, pizza time was also yesterday. I'll admit that. Yesterday, I was watching a stream from the lovely Ben from Loading Ready Run. He is Bengineering on social media. Bengineering. And his lovely partner got pizza delivery for him because he was talking about being hungry, and the only thing they had in their apartment was a salad that was not a good apparently not a good salad. It was a bad salad. And so she ordered him a pizza, and then I was like, well, shit. Now I want to go get pizza. And so I went and got pizza yesterday. But I'm also probably going to do that tonight because I did eat dinner, but I'm still hungry. And my brain says it the way that the TMT arcade game says it. Indeed. For me, it's just that I live close to a really good pizza place, and that's just bad. It's a great pizza place. It's only bad because I live near it. All right, we're almost ready to start getting our face going. I also had pizza yesterday. Weird. It happens. I normally work Sunday night, but the theater that I've been working at is dark right now. It's coming back, but it was dark, so I didn't have to work yesterday, which was cool because I got a bunch of other stuff done. But was bad because suddenly I was like, oh, I don't have anything going on tonight. I could just go get pizza. Hell yeah. I mean, it's pizza. It's good. Pizza. I approve. All right, let's try to dump the last of this. Like I said, this doesn't have to be perfect because we're on stream, and I can go back and clean it up later. Also, sometimes it's easier to clean up once you have carved the face out because you can get access to other parts of it. So we'll put that aside. That's our pumpkin guts are now off the table. The table shouldn't shake as much right now because this does weigh far less than normal. We will and now we're going to reassess, y'all. So I'm going to turn this on its side so you can see it. But right now, I just want to look at my friend here, our pumpkin friend, because we're going to draw on it. Then we're going to X-Acto knife it. Then we're going to big knife it, and then we are going to fine tune it. But well, Solf, I'm happy for you that you are making homemade pizza at this very moment. One, I'm very happy for you. Congratulations. And two, damn you straight to hell. You can go to hell. You can tell your lovely partner you both can go to hell. Homemade pizza. Coming in here telling me about your homemade pizza like I'm not going to be jealous of everything's going on in your life. You had punch pizza the other day. That shit is good. Well, now, Leo, see, now I got to Google what that is, and I got to learn what punch pizza is because I don't know. And there's a pizza I don't know anything about, and now I get to find out what punch pizza is. Wait, punch? Napolitan pizza. Well, that just looks good. Oh, that's just a place you can get pizza at, huh? Okay. I thought oh yeah, that's just great looking pizza. I thought Punch was like a style, like instead of a city, they just call it Punch Pizza. That's just a Punch is just a like a chain, okay, of good pizza. I don't know how local it is. It looks like there's a bunch of locations. I've never heard of Punch Pizza before, but that looked real good. So congratulations on that, Leo. It looks like you did good. All right, so I'm gonna take the lid out here. So the lid is good. Anything in this area here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do one mark kind of at center. Actually, I'll do that with a knife instead of doing that with a Sharpie. I'm just kind of marking my midpoint here because wherever I put my nose, I'd like my nose to be where this mid part is. And you shouldn't see it unless you really look at it. You shouldn't see the mark I did. I basically did, I didn't have it on stream. I just did a little mark right here because this is going to be my center line. So my nose will come off that, my eyes, my mouth should be the center there, just to help me out. We'll do that. And then, yeah, it does, as I said, it does lean back a little bit. So there's going to be some forehead on this thing, which is good. Our center is going to be about here. So we know that's there. So we'll have some eyes. You don't want to be too far. You don't want to have any problems. Now, you can start top down or bottom up. I'm going to start bottom up because I would rather have the face be close to the mouth rather than the mouth be too low to the bottom of the pumpkin and you see too much of the bottom of the pumpkin. I have made that mistake before. Sometimes it turns out fine. But if you see all the way in the pumpkin, I don't love that. So we'll do kind of just the dot is there, so the nose will be around here, and we'll do. Have you said what you're carving the pumpkin? So Lord Crashing said, all I mentioned is before is that because my artistic abilities are not much, accidentally or on purpose, my pumpkins come out silly and fun. So we're going classic: eyes, nose, mouth. Big mouth, maybe a couple buck teeth, maybe a couple random teeth. Big old smile. We're going to go a silly, fun pumpkin. That's the goal because I know I can do that. I can't etch an incredibly realistic version of Squirtle on this pumpkin. I'm not going to be able to pull that off. But I can make it a fun, silly, fun pumpkin. We're not going to have the map of National Treasure on here. I just don't have that ability. But I acknowledge that I don't have that ability. All right, so middle of the mouth here. We're just putting a mark there. Big old smile, big smile, big smile there. Wide one. We will put, we'll put some teeth there. And then clean that up. Put some teeth there. As much as it would be cool to etch the Alex would too damn hard. Yes. Teeth are the most important part of pumpkin carving. I agree with you. And we're also we'll do that so you don't really see where the line was. And I think that's good. I'm going to deepen because we'll carve this out, I'm going to deepen the tooth there, and we'll put a tooth there. So we'll have some fangs. Midpoint is here. We'll do a nose. We're going to do a deep nose here. Again, this clearance is probably just as much as we want to do. Anything smaller between, and you're running the risk of a cave-in. Which we don't want. We don't want this. We don't want an accidental cut to be here, and then suddenly we have to make the mouth huge. And then, since we're doing triangles, we will do triangle eyes. Let's say about here. We're going to do, and I'm going to make these big. I'm going to do big triangle eyes. And then another one over here. Because we are really working with triangles here. And then we can bring this down some. And then that looks pretty good. Good night, Harold. Thanks for hanging out. Check my Twitter when you wake up so you can see how we did. But yeah, thanks for hanging out. Triangle eyes are watching you. Clap, clap, clap. Indeed. All right. So this is our face. Look at that friend. That friend's going to be fun. I'm looking at it now. One of these eyes should come in a little bit, I think. So we'll put some water on here. We'll try to clean this off a bit. I'm looking at this now. I'd like to move one of these eyes in. So we'll just kind of clean this up a bit. This isn't going to work too well because we are using Sharpie instead of doing there. But we will clean that up some. That isn't going to work out too good, but it'll work out all right. Hopefully, you won't even notice that I had done a line there. Yeah, I think that'll be better here. And then yeah, I like that better. Shouldn't notice. But I basically moved the eye over, and then eventually that won't even be noticeable at all. And I'll know, and you'll know, but people looking at the pumpkin won't know. Of course, that is the problem of doing that. All right, so now we're going to score it. Because we are using a big blade, as I said, you want to use a paring knife that is not that big. You want to use something you would use to apples more than this, pieces of meat. So we will use our X-Acto knife here to score. And I'll do like this so you can kind of watch along. Just nice and easy. We are going to try to cut outside of the Sharpie so that we are not leaving Sharpie. We can make cuts that you won't don't have to worry about seeing here, because once we cut it, you won't see the Sharpie anymore. And we can always trim it if we need it. I'm making very light incisions. Then I will make a deeper incision, and then I will make a knife. Then I will switch to my knife and finish it off there. X-Acto knife, despite it being exact, sometimes isn't great with flesh, which is the proper way to refer to pumpkin, is we are carving the flesh of a pumpkin. Isn't always exact, but our regular knife will help a lot with that as well. Okay, so we did that. Now we're going to switch to our knife. And we will just make another cut. Nice cut. We'll make a nice cut there. And we will make a nice cut as well. And then we should be able to pop that out because, hey, look, it's our nose. Follow that nose. And then you drop it on the floor, and you remind yourself that you have to pick that up later. And then we're just going to carve through. Just going to carve through. We're just going to carve through. We'll scoop it out later or pop it out later. Nice and easy. So tomorrow I do start this job that will go to the end of the year. I knew that tomorrow I would have training. I did not know anything about what that entailed other than it would be some meetings like via Google Hangout, and it would be some like questionnaires and some stuff. It's a full 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. It is a full day, and that is fine because it is 10 a.m. and that sounds great. Uh, so I'm not like bummed about that. I'm fine with that. But I didn't know how long it was going to be, so that was fun. I missed the beginning, but have you ever tried using a dry erase marker instead of a Sharpie? I haven't. That's a good tip. Um, and I can appreciate that. Getting paid to learn things is fun. Yeah, Lord Crashes, I'm excited about it. Uh, there's a there's a whole like getting to know you thing, which I'm sure some people are going to be really freaked out about, and I'm like, how much do you want to know? Because I won't stop talking. So I'm going to have to be careful about that because as a improviser and a host of many things, I can fucking talk. But yes, you're right. A dry erase marker would be better than a Sharpie. I do not have one at hand, but I would say that is that's a good idea. Also, a pencil, could be good. Uh, yeah, you could just do. I stabbed a pumpkin on the internet last night. Yeah, I could say, well, last night I carved a pumpkin for upwards of 22 people, mostly about 15, and talked about anime. The show this season to watch is After School Dice Club. That's the best show of the season. Yeah, yeah. That actually might be like, hey y'all, if you have Hulu, you should check out After School Dice Club. It's really good. That might just be my getting to know me thing. It should be the head of human resources. No, one of the heads of human resources recommended I apply for this job. Is that a conflict of interest? I don't think it is, because HR doesn't work for me. That's the secret, y'all. Human resources is not your friend. I mean, Lisa's my friend, but she's not. She's not going to be working in the best interests of me. She's working in the best interests of the company, and hopefully those do line up. But whatever. I don't expect there to be HR problems. I'm only doing this job for a bit. Okay. So the nose knows. The nose is good. I like the nose. We'll touch it up. But right now I can see into the pumpkin through the nose, and that's the most important part. Let's do the eyes next. And again, we will start with our X-Acto knife. And we will just be making some cuts here. We will take a pause for the cause in a couple minutes. I will talk about ways you can support the stream. I will use methods to do that and talk to you about ways you can support, but that'll be in a couple minutes. I want to at least get one eye done, and then we will do a cliffhanger for the other eye, and then I'll talk about some anime stuff, as I mentioned. Found out that our team meeting last week that my direct manager was let go the night before for performance. So this week has been interesting. Leo, finding out that your direct supervisor is no longer your direct supervisor is a weird thing indeed. And also, performance is so vague. It's so vague because you're like, was part of what they weren't doing right managing me? Or, like, that's a weird thing where you're like, were they not telling me things? Are you mad at what I'm doing because of them? Oh no. Oh, that's a weird meeting. Yikes. Well, good luck, Leo. I mean, you did also say, didn't you also say that you're getting some sort of bonus that you weren't expecting? Was that right? Yeah. You're getting a bonus this month. It's on our next check, so that's good. Especially because my branch manager said shortly after that we were all like, up. Yeah. So, hey, if you get a direct manager that is doing things that the bosses like even more, maybe you'll do even better. Because you managed to do pretty good considering they didn't like the performance of your direct supervisor. Who knows, man? Who knows? I don't pretend to know. I don't know your business. I don't know your business. I don't know what's going on there. That's a lot. That is a weird surprise. All right. Sorry about the wobbling. As you know, I'm building on a table here. My monitor is on the table. There's a crane camera that's on the table. The other monitor, or the other camera, is on top of one of my two monitors pointing at me. So me moving around like this causes there to be problems with that. But that ended up being deep. This is pretty deep eye here. I think it's going to look good, though. All right, we can get it out. We scooped it out. Oh, no. We didn't get all of it, which is fine. I don't mind that. This is way easier to deal with than, making the initial decisions. This part of it is very simple. And we're far enough away from both our nose and the mouth that I'm not worried about cave-ins. We're very far away from the forehead area or the lid. This is looking really good and really silly. So we'll just kind of scoop this out a little bit just so that we can see what's going on in there. And yeah, enough part there that when we do this eye, we will go down a little far. We're going to go down farther than there because in practice we got lower. So we will just do that when we do. I'll score that now just so that I don't forget. We are going to take a break to pause for the cause. But I am just going to mark that we are going to go deeper on this eye. And we can go a little wider and deeper with that. And that'll be that. Great. So that eye can get deeper, which is cool. We'll take a look at that in a moment. Right now, it's the pause for the cause. If you're new here, you don't know what that means. It basically means I'm going to tell you ways you can support the stream if you'd like to. First and foremost, thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. It's always nice to have people in the audience. Lashbrook, I will chat with you in a moment about that stuff. Because yeah, we'll talk about that. I don't think League Heel's ever going to return to Australia. We might someday, but I don't know. But yeah, thank you for watching. If you're a subscriber, let's throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the Scythe, the Moat in there. Some folks, this is the middle of the month. This is when a lot of people's subscriptions need to renew. So make sure you hit that notification if you're new. Thank you, Mark. We are going to get back into carving. This is just the middle of the stream. I always take a break in the middle and talk about ways people can support the stream, but I will get back to carving very soon. And thank you. I do appreciate that. Lord Stockton's here. Solf is here. Lashbrook. This is also a good way for me to see if people popped in earlier. Hello, Wiki. Happy to have you here. As you can see, Recyclable is top of the leaderboard for bits and coins. They're always appreciated. You can use Cash Money to subscribe. You can also use Amazon Prime. Link your Amazon Prime with your Twitch, and then you could use that. I also have a Patreon, and when this is all in the show description if you're watching this later on YouTube, but right now I can use, yes, Nightbot will show you the link to the Patreon. That's one way to support the stream. We also have a wish list. You could pick something up on my wish list. And that will come. The next thing we're going to be building as far as model kits go is the Blue Frame D, the Gundam Mastery Blue Frame D, which was bought off my wish list. I've got cheap, inexpensive things on there. I've got pricey things in there. Big $100 model kits, small $10 Lego sets. I try to make sure that everything on there is also available through Amazon Prime. Sometimes it's not. But if you buy anything on there, I'll build it ahead of time. And that is a great way to support the stream because kits are expensive. I do have a few kits waiting for me to build, but as always, it always means a lot if people want to buy something on there. And I make a little video that goes on my YouTube where I thank you. You could also buy something on USA Gundam Store if you wanted to. You could buy something on USA Gundam Store, buy a gift card. If you buy a gift card on USA Gundam, you can then send me the code here on Twitch or on my DMs are open on Twitter, and then I will take that gift card and buy something from USA Gundam Store. That's an alternative. I have ways that you can donate. I'm going to put the donate in there. Again, this is all on YouTube. And again, we're going to get back to building in just a moment. I just have to do the pause for the cause. Here's some ways to donate: my coffee, my Streamlabs donation link, my PayPal link. Those are just ways to support the stream. Anything I make through that, and through my Patreon, and through Twitch, all goes into buying kits, because it's an expensive hobby. It's expensive. It's not my business. And I have a Discord. Join my Discord. And then the last plug I will put in is episode 2 came out today of Pat Baer's Anime Club. Please watch it on YouTube. Like, comment, subscribe, share. Leave a comment on that YouTube if you want to, what you think I should watch. Because here's the thing. My next video, which will come out 2 Mondays from now, will be the week of Halloween. I'm going to talk about some monster, witch kind of anime that isn't scary, because I don't like scary. But, like, if you want something with monsters in it, here's something fun with monsters. If you want something with vampires in it, here's something fun with vampires. If you want something with witchcraft in it, here's a great witchcraft show. I'm going to do that. I'm going to try to watch something spooky. So if you want to see me watch a spooky thing, you can leave a comment on that YouTube video with what you want to see. That video, I also talk about my favorite anime of the season so far, which is After School Dice Club, and the show I'm worried about. At the time of recording that, there had only been one episode of Season 2 of We Never Learn. Episode 2, better than Episode 1, but not much better, because half of it was about the teacher, and that is my least fun part of the show. Also, it doesn't feel like a Season 2, it feels like Season 1.2, Part 2. It feels like a double series. They just took some time off, and they shouldn't call it Season 2. They shouldn't number episode 1 and 2. Should be episode 14 and 15 of 26, not 1 and 2 of 13. I've said my piece on that. But yeah, I talk about some anime stuff. Watch that. I'm going to drink some water. If you haven't hydrated in a bit, maybe now's a good time to drink a little water. I don't know. I'm not your boss. I haven't been laid off for performance. I'm Pat Baer. I'm carving a pumpkin. All right, we're back in it. I showed an ad at the beginning of the stream. I will do an ad at the end of the stream. I will not do an ad during the stream. But I have made, as I said, I've made 20 cents so far, which is pretty good. That's pretty good. For a couple ads, making a little bit of money. Someday I'll make $1. But I'll end the stream with an ad, because that is a good way to get a little bit of income. And generally, my numbers when I stop are higher than when I start. Also, a lot of you who are here when we kick off the stream are subscribers and might not see ads. And also, some of you are international and might not see ads either, depending on your country's deal. Or you've got an ad blocker on, and so you're not going to see ads either. Just had that conversation the other day with someone about there are folks who are mad that College Humor and Dorkly have a channel where you can stream video stuff that's paid. They have Dropout. And people are like, why isn't this just on YouTube? Why isn't this on collegehumor.com? Why are you making me pay for things? And it's like, because nobody's got any money anymore, and they got to do something. And they tried to make TV shows, and they've made 2 TV shows. Well, they made 3, 2 of which worked. Adam Ruins Everything is produced by College Humor and does well. And then Emily and Murph have a show that I don't remember the name of, and that's a TV show. But Facebook killed the online video, so like they got to do something. And yeah, did I pay for Dropout when there was a show I really wanted to see? Yes. Am I paying it for right now? No. Will I pay for it in the future? Yes. Got no problems with that. Got no problems with them making their money. Friends of mine, it helps. Friends of mine work there, right? And it helps that they can earn a little bit more of a living doing what they do. Uh, that makes me feel good, and I'm happy for them. I get it that not everyone has the cash. Also, for a little while there, Dropout was not available in every country of the world. Now it's available in more. Uh, and there are ways to watch it. All right. Um, I will be promoting soon, probably on Thursday. I'm doing a panel at PAX Unplugged. I'm going to PAX Unplugged. I'm going to do improvised postmortem. It will be focused on card games and tabletop, fake card games and tabletop games. And I just confirmed another guest who is rad. And that's awesome. So someone rad is doing it. But yeah, I'm going to PAX Unplugged. It's going to be a Saturday night panel. It will not be streamed. Unfortunately, I could not get a streaming room. There's only two. There's only two streams coming out Unplugged, so I didn't get streamed. But I will record it. Also, Eric isn't going, so I'm going to have to find a videographer. I am currently talking to freelance videographers in the Philadelphia area because if you watched my 404 video from PAX West, you know, left to my own devices, I'm going to fuck that up. So I refuse to fuck up improvised postmortem. The one I did at UCB, the only one I've done outside of PAX, got fucked up when left to my own devices. So I refuse to let that happen again. So I am, I'm going to film it. But it'll be good. I have two returning guests to it. It'll be good. And I'm excited. Because it'll be a fun panel. But yeah, that's the next panel. All right. This eye is smaller than this eye. So I'm gonna make this bigger. I'm gonna make this a little bigger. But I'm not gonna go out of control with it because I don't want to lose sight of the prize, which is a thing that I think looks good. So I'm going to do my best to deepen it without ruining it. We'll go in a little, so we'll just go in a little bit, and we'll just go down a little bit. Again, we are working with pumpkin, which is different than working with paper or cardboard. You know, this was a once living thing. So we are with grooves, and we are again working with a knife that has too long of a blade for the job that we are doing. We should have a paring knife, but I do not own one. You can also buy knives that are for pumpkins. You can buy ceramic knives that are meant for this particular thing, or steel that are meant for that. You certainly could do that. And there are definitely kits that come with like dry erase markers for detailing, or stencils even. If you want to stencil this, you could, do that. You've got options out there to you. All right, so that's as deep as we want to go there. And not much more there. Great. Just going to even this out. I'm going to feel pretty good about it. Okay, let's talk about anime. I got 3 shows to talk about. First came out on Saturday, but as I said, I was with my folks. They came to visit, which was awesome. They were in Connecticut for a wedding, and they took the train in to New York to see me, which is nice of them, and it was fun to see them. But we hung out, so I didn't get to watch all my Saturday anime before the stream. So I watched, yesterday I watched episode 1 of season 4 of My Hero Academia. Y'all, this was a good episode. It did the thing that I want this show to do, which is the thing that I forget, which is that 80% of people in that world have quirks and have, have powers. Now, not all of them are heroes, and some of them are, aren't strong powers or powers that are helpful. But sometimes you forget that, like, so when the journalist dude has cameras all over his body that he can create, and he can even print photos out of his chest, I was like, oh yeah, world building. Hell yeah. I thought that was awesome. I thought that was like a really great surprise. Because he does say, like, in his flashback, he did run towards his dad, and then his photo was, like, I was like, oh, he thought enough to take his camera out. No, his ability, and that might have actually been, we don't say, that this dude, that might have been when his quirk manifested, was that he was trying to capture the moment of his happiness, knowing that All Might saved his dad's life. It was good and lighthearted. I like they don't use the Deku talking about what happened from the future all that often. They don't. They could use it a lot more as a storytelling device, and they do hold back on that, and I love that. Um, Also, there's a shot in there where Froppy, the best girl, is just looking at a cat. She's just like checking in on a cat, seeing what the cat's up to, and that's just fun. That's just good fun. That's just what you want to see. You want your moment. But yeah, uh, not a lot happened, and then you see some stuff with the villains, and you know that shit's gonna pop off, and we're gonna learn about our new big bad that's coming up. It's got a fucking stuff's gonna happen. It's gonna be a whole thing. It was a decent episode of My Hero. It was a good first episode of a new season. Like, it does actually feel like a place you could theoretically start if you wanted to, or if you're like, shit, man, I haven't watched this show in a long time. I don't remember what some of these people do. Like, they go through all the heroes or the students and say what their powers are, and like, it's pretty good. They set up. It was a really good onboarding episode. Yeah, Leo, I think it was just a good, like, hey, remember this? And then it also does enough of like, oh, yeah, that's right. It includes a reference to the guy from the movie because the movies are canon, which I know, but like still is a surprise and is weird because that's always strange. It was interesting to see them use footage from the movie. Yeah, Lashbrook, because that movie is canon. So like that girl could show up at some point, or at some point the bracer could show up. Although I don't think it shows up in the manga. So probably not, but like at least a reference to, hey, remember when you had a thing that like protected your arm and your wrist so you could do more cool shit? It was like a warm hug. Leo, that's a really nice way to put it. Yeah, it was like, hey, yes, that cat, the cat did appear twice. Lord Stockton, I don't think it's a villain. I think they were just like, well, we have this cat. Let's just use it again. All right, I'm scooping a bunch of stuff out of habit. Overall, great episode. They never appear in the manga, says Christian. Okay, so you probably aren't going to see, they might reference them, but you probably aren't going to see them get used in the show, those bracers. That was a good device, no pun intended, for the show. For the movie. Also, hey, let's talk about One Piece. We got a bait and switch on One Piece, but I didn't mind it. I didn't mind it at all. The name of the episode was going to tell you that Hawkins, who is by far one of the most capable bad people in this arc, who is clearly one of the smartest villains in the arc, certainly, is going to have a showdown with Law, the Doctor, who doesn't want to kill people, but has an ability that could really fuck people up if he wants to. And he often doesn't want to. It set up that they were going to have an epic showdown, and most of the episode has nothing to do with them. And it's fine, and I don't mind it at all because it was really good. The episode was really solid. I had a good time watching it. We got more of Luffy just being great and being weird. There's a whole thing where the horse person, the horse lady, is kind of subject, like brought over to their side unwillingly, and that's weird, and I don't love that. I was about to say subjugated, and that sounds bad because it is. Because she's half horse, because she ate the devil fruit that made her half horse. And the horse half of her is really interested in helping out the girl that ability lets her command animals. It's weird. And she does say it, but we don't. Luffy doesn't hear the fact that she knows Ace, but she got to see him do Ace's move, basically his tribute to Ace, and that was cool. So there was some cool stuff in there. We got to see Law be awesome. Here's my big thing, right? Fine, you don't really want to have a huge showdown between Hawkins and Law. Okay. You want to tease that out? Okay. Law has already worked with Luffy before. You should, if you are working with the Straw Hat Pirates, particularly Monkey D. Luffy, you should acknowledge immediately that they are not subtle or sneaky, and that if your plan is to be subtle or sneaky, they are going to fuck that up. They are immediately going to abandon that, because they did abandon that immediately. So instead of getting this Hawkins fight, it looks like we might get a Law. I don't know if Law's going to fight Zoro, but Law's definitely going to try to yell at Zoro, to which I guess Zoro is just going to reply, why did you think this would be different? And I understand. Law made this plan. They all agreed to the plan. And now the plan has not happened, so he's upset. I get that. I get it. But, like, they weren't gonna do what you wanted. There's no way they were gonna do what you wanted. Okay, so pro tip right now before we start talking. The episode was good. The fights were fun. I would have liked to see a drawn out fight between Law and Hawkins. We didn't get that. That's annoying. Because I don't know when he's going to get an opportunity. Also, I bet the animal that Hawkins is on, I bet also has a straw inside of it. So as a last resort, that animal can die in his place, I assume. Oh, okay. So pro tip. You might see here, I just did a cut down this. I did a cut down this because I'm going to chunk this out. I'm not going to do one big cut. I'm going to do sections of cut. I'm going to cut along the top and along the bottom and just do sections. And I'm going to cut it out in sections because that will be way easier to remove, and we'll have less issues, and we'll run into, especially around here, I want to make as few cuts as possible around the nose. So I'm just going to be cutting down, and we're going to carve this out in pieces, basically, which will be a lot easier to carve out. And so we'll do another one here, and we'll just carve it down in sections. Be a lot easier, because then I'm just removing chunks, and then I won't worry about running into issues with, like, chipping off the tooth. So there's your pro tip from Pat on that. We got to carve down the bottom right now, but I'm just putting cars in here. I'll put some cars in here, and I'll do another one there. So we're just going to carve out sections of our big mouth. Otherwise, the One Piece episode was solid. It was good. I have less complaints than I have about other shows. There were less stares. There were still some stare downs happening, but like a bunch of the stare down was like, who's going to move first in this fight? Not like someone, Luffy looking slack-jawed for a while and then just going, he's got a cat. Which is like, yeah, dude, come on. Last episode, episode 2 of a Monday show. The only Monday show I'm watching, which is, didn't I say to make my abilities average in the next life? It was really fun, guys. Really funny, really good. If you missed me talking about episode 1, There is a girl. She was really special, good grades, but like never really had a fun life because she was like doing what she was supposed to do and understood what she was supposed to do, like, and was really smart and good at things and wished that she was average. So when she got hit by a truck, which she acknowledges is like she understands what isekai are. She understands what's happening to her. She's like, so when Truck Coon hit me, uh, and she met God, who offered her to be reincarnated, she said, okay, please make my abilities average. Just let me live an average. Let me be an average girl. Problem. God, in his infinite wisdom, didn't make her an average girl. He made her average in that world of all of the many creatures and their power levels. So she averaged out with a human who has no abilities and a dragon who is incredibly powerful, the most powerful creature in the world, so much more powerful than any human. So as the average of those two things, she's one of the strongest humans on Earth. So her abilities are averaged, not average. And while she does want to be, she goes to do adventuring and she wants to like do whatever she needs to do. She's like in a school and trying to pretend at least that she isn't like overpowered and shouldn't be in hunter school. She should already be completing quests. So she's already more powerful than anybody. She's bad at pretending to be average. She's not good at lying, which is fun. And because it's a comedic take on it, in most isekai, people are like, oh, wow, you're really good at that. And that's where it ends. Well, her party, the knight, the mage, who's probably pretty good mage comparatively to other people, and the girl that wants to learn magic, but is from a line of merchants, and I think is in magic school or wizard or hunter school just to make money, seems like. They're all immediately like, what's your deal? Why are you so strong? You're 12. Why are you incredible? Like she copies some magic just to kind of be like, do whatever and think she's being clever. She's like, ha, I did that magic, but it wasn't that impressive. But the magic she did is like, hey, that's my original spell that only I should be able to do. And you saw me do it once and copied me. What's your fucking deal? Why are you so good at this? And it's fun. It's a funny show. There is a point where she is training the knight to be a better knight, and she goes all manga on her, and is like, and basically looks like Master Roshi. She's like training him in her mind what a good knight, like knight training, and it's pretty funny. I can't do it justice, but it is a pleasant show. It is, I mean, it's an isekai about 4 ladies going on adventures. And sounds like Kid Goku. Yes. Yeah, Lord Crescent. So, like, she's through and through the main character in an isekai, right? She is definitely in an isekai. It's just that she's in an isekai where she hasn't told people how special she is because she's still clinging to the notion that she can pretend. But her party is like, we know something is up. Eventually you have to tell us. And I think that's pretty great. And there's already they defeated someone in the first episode, and then in the second episode she shows up, or we know as the audience that she's looking for revenge, but it's like, don't worry about looking for revenge. Come on. Oh, we got a subscriber tier 1 that's 3 months. Blasphemer just says Pumpkin Enthusiast over here, stab it good. We are stabbing it. Thank you very much. Yeah, throw the Bear Cave in the Lego mode. Thank you very much for renewing that subscription. 3 months. That's awesome. Thank you very much for that. Yes, she does Nedroids. Yeah, she like made a figurine, and it was very funny because she's incredible. She is the protagonist in an isekai. Also, the show hasn't been gross yet. I mean, the first episode was a little creepy because the villain in the first episode was kidnapping girls, but it turned out she was kidnapping girls because she likes pretty things and wants them to be around. And they thought it was going to be deviant, and it is deviant, but it was different deviant than we thought. It wasn't slavery or anything else. It was, I just like being around pretty girls, so I'm kidnapping them. And that's not great at all. But they lean hard into the flat-chested joke. Yes, Christian. But they do it for the purpose of her like showing off her abilities, is the fact that like she's sensitive about it, because even though she's 12, she is also was a teen, and was just reincarnated. Uh, I do agree. I'm hoping they find other ways to showcase her incredible abilities for joke purposes that aren't that joke. But I will take that joke over um, the wrestling anime where the dude like just wants to hug people and is real creepy about it, and they're like, "Oh, you're a pervert." Like those jokes, although episode 2 was better than episode 1, all the jokes in Didn't I Say to Make My Abilities Average are better than any joke in that one. So I'll take that. All right. We got to do more. We're doing carving here. We're doing cutting. We're trying to get, getting sections done here. We're going to carve out some sections, and we're going to be careful around the teeth because we don't want to lose these teeth. We could do it without them because we're doing cuts in, right? Like if I chop this off, it'll be okay, but I'd rather not chop that off. I'd rather have that part. And we'll do some cleanup in a bit, but we've got one tooth done, and I'm feeling good about that. There's a tooth, you can see. And we'll have to get in there and do all this, but we can. Now we're just going to cut along here. So the next section, we are going to be careful of this area here because we don't want to accidentally break that. So we'll definitely be cutting for the bottom. And we can just cut in like that. And cut in like that. There we go. Great. Another big section done. But yeah, I like the show a lot. It's fun. The characters are all likable so far. The merchant is an interesting character. I thought she was going to be the healer, but she's also another spellcaster. And of course, our main character could do everything. So she's a hero that also is. She's a wizard. You know, she's a magician, but she's also very strong. So she can do it all because she's the main character, and her abilities are incredible. But yeah, that and Cautious Hero. I like both of them right now. And the fact that I like 2 isekais, and I don't hate the other ones. Konosuba, as I said, not Konosuba. I'm trying to say the name right. Oh, okay, yeah. That's what I said. Kimono Michi. Kimono Michi, I don't hate. I like the second episode way better than I like the first episode. It's maybe going places. I think that's good. I said it's a bookworm is weird, and I don't know about it 100% yet. I'm not sold 100%. And High School Prodigy is solid. That's very average so far. The fact that the ninja says nin nin is still pretty great. And I do like the idea of a magician from our world who, you know, the idea of the magician from our world not being able to accept that they're in a magical land where magic is real is pretty funny. I think it's pretty good. And I want to know what's going on with the dude's eye. I want to know why his eyes are different color, and they were before he got there. What's going on with that? They lean hard into the. Christian says bookworm can go super sad or super happy. Yeah, it's interesting. So far, I'm definitely interested in that show more than I thought I would be. But yeah, after the last season's Isekai. I'm excited to see what happens here. Okay, so now we have the thing of we're going to try to carve the rest of this. Our goal is, obviously, to not chop this off and not lose our fang. So we are going to try to be careful about getting that fang out. I'm going to try to carve this section out next. So we don't lose the fang. Try to be careful with it. And then we will just... try to be careful with it. We don't want to lose that fang. Great. We didn't. Fang is intact, and then we can just get the rest of our mouth done. Should just be carving along the line. We'll go outside the line. I'm doing several cuts here. But yeah, we're going outside the line here so that we can get rid of our Sharpie. We won't see that Sharpie anymore. But yeah, I'm overall excited for shows. I believe everything that I want to watch. I haven't checked out that show, Christian. I will watch it. I haven't checked it out. The show you recommended. And then there is an anime that's like a 5-minute show that's about like a guy coming to a new town and he's trying to make a good first impression, but then there are some extraordinary people there. That didn't look great, but it's 5 minutes, so I might check it out. It's been a little while since I had a nice short one. There's no half length shows that I'm watching. I don't know. I'm not interested in the new Fate show because, as many of you know, I've only watched one Fate show ever, and that is the cooking one. Because that one, you don't really... I know enough about the show to like that, and it's really about... it's a chance for those characters to have a nice show and have a nice time. And so that was the one I was interested in. And, yeah. Hello, Sazabi. Welcome. We are pumpkin carving. Here's our pumpkin. We're working on the mouth. Working on a big old mouth. But yeah, what was I saying? Oh yeah. And I'm not watching Sword Art because I didn't finish the last season. So I'm not going to start the new one. Missed potential for carving to be an emoticon. Sazabi, so we talked about this, and the short answer is I don't have a lot of artistic talent. I have a lot of energy. I have a lot of enthusiasm. But if I do it on purpose or accidental, if I try to carve a pumpkin, it comes out as a silly friend. So I lean into that. Yeah, I could have done a stencil. I could have, yeah, printed something out and traced it, and then cut around it. But I decided I was just going to make a silly face and have fun with it and make something I'm happy with. Also, if I screwed up my own emoticon, I would have been bummed. Whereas if I screw this up, we'll figure it out, and I'll make it fun and make it enjoyable. That's kind of my theory on that stuff. Is I just know that about myself. I'm not going to pull off something elaborate. I'm going to pull off something pretty good. And I'll be happy with pretty good. I want a cool photo at the end of this. Yeah, that's all we're trying to do is make a fun friend pumpkin. I want to make a pumpkin that people are just like, oh yeah, heck yeah. I don't want to make a pumpkin that someone goes, oh, where'd you buy that? Like, it would be kind of cool to be that good, but I'm not expecting to be that good. But I have seen pumpkins that friends of mine have made that I'm like, so what stencil is this? Like, how did this happen? I don't want that. I want someone to be like, oh, that's fun. And then I'll say, yeah, I did it on stream. We talked about anime and stuff. Talked about the job I'm starting tomorrow, the training, and all that. Make it good enough so the jerks don't smash in the street. Yes. I would like to make a pumpkin that someone goes, ah, that's fun, and then just moves on. But also, I don't really have to worry about that too much because my landlord is the king of the neighborhood. He is well respected and well regarded in this neighborhood, and I don't think anyone's going to be coming on our doorstep. Also, they have 3 dogs, and they all bark when you come up the stairs. So, if someone was approaching this pumpkin, dogs would just start barking. So I'm not too worried about that. But yes, I am hoping that this pumpkin is not harmed. All right, we got to do some more carving here and clean this up. But we are pretty good here. There's the one guy who carved an actual face into a pumpkin, and the dude who carved a head with flesh out of a watermelon. Yeah, yeah. I'm not gonna pull. I'm not gonna be able to pull that off. I'm not like, And sometimes people do pumpkins where like they're vomiting and they just use the pumpkin guts coming out of it. It's like, I'm not gonna. I'm not making that. That's not my style. I'm making a fun friend who happens to be carved out of a pumpkin. Just gonna throw some guts here into this. Of course, we'll be putting all of this in here. We'll be composting all of that. I am not saving the seeds. I'm not cooking the seeds. I'm not doing any of that. That's not my style either. Ultron just subscribed. That's tier 1. That's 11 months. That's almost a year. I am very late. Ultron, well, you're here for the end of the stream, which is great. Of course, you can watch the archive later. This archive will be on YouTube tomorrow afternoon. And, of course, it will be available in VOD directly after the stream. But thank you very much for resubbing. Always appreciated, my friend. Thank you for being here and letting the people know. But yeah, you can kind of see the fruits of our labor. We're still cleaning up here. We're finishing up, but we have done the bulk of our build. I have like stuff ready to I didn't know how long this was going to take, so I have stuff in my kit ready. We're not going to start the next kit tonight. We'll just be cleaning this up for the rest of the stream. But yes, Leo with the honk. I am suffocating here. Stench of their panel line accent color. Yes, I mean that's a good pro tip. If you are doing paint or Sharpies or anything like that, a well-ventilated space is your friend. My bedroom, which is where we are streaming out of right now, is going to smell like pumpkin. I'm going to have to really, really clean up this area. Of course, I have, as you can see, I did do the old free newspaper trick so that my table area won't smell like pumpkin. But I'm going to have to clean off the blade. It's definitely time for a new blade, but indeed. Yes, I did. I have Nightbot commands right now. I do have Nightbot commands. Most of them are like exclamation point donate or exclamation point wish list. But there also is exclamation point goose, in which Nightbot honks, because that felt like a thing I should put in there. I'll probably put at least another fun one in there at some point. And I guess if you go to if you do exclamation point commands, there's a link to the list of them. But most of them are just like, I should have had this for a long time. But if someone says like, where's your wish list? I can just anyone can put that in, and then it'll show a link to it will show up. That felt like a thing that we should have had for a while. And we didn't. Now we do. Like I said, I need to scrape all this stuff out. I'm just going to do some touch-up. We're going to touch up the mouth here a little bit. And we'll do one last, spoon, clean. Just getting some extra. What about one based off a channel joke? Yeah, having a channel joke would be good. Did you saw the tweet about the Dr. Dolittle movie? I did not see a tweet about Dr. Dolittle, Christian. Is Dr. Dolittle one of the Disney Plus movies that they got? But yeah, Lashbrook, having some reference to the stream will be good. At some point, I probably need to do exclamation point anime. Oh, Robert Downey Jr. is doing a Dr. Dolittle? Okay. I didn't see that. you know, you gotta do fun projects. At a certain point, you don't have to worry. You just do whatever you want to do. You can just do stuff. The production was hell. That sucks. Yes. Yes, Azabi, eventually, exclamation point anime will do something. Uh, I think it will probably. My assumption is that what I'll do is have Nightbot list the anime that I'm going to talk about during the stream. And so every day before the stream starts, I'll just include the anime I'm going to talk about. So that way, if you want a list of the names, you can do that. That would be the smart thing. It's not the funny answer like Goose, but exclamation point anime just being Nightbot telling you about the anime that I watched is probably helpful, maybe, so people don't have to like look at my YouTube later to see the names of the anime that I'm mentioning or the spelling of them. That might be good. I don't know. I think that's probably I'll probably have to come up with some other. I mean, also at some point I'll have to do wish list is smart, but I'll have to do exclamation point Gundam or Gunpla and make that fun. You know, do a fun one. Gundam 2, the mission to unlock rank 4 parts in ZZ is called It's Not Anime. That's fun. All right, let's dump guts here. Scrape some guts out. And then we're just going to quickly clean up our face here. We are coming in on the end of this build. Our carving expedition. I've been wanting to do a full pumpkin for a while. I did those 2 small ones last year. That wetted my whistle for this project, which is what I wanted to be doing, which was just carving a friendly pumpkin on the stream for y'all. I'll tell you my next stream. My next stream is on Wednesday. I will do a build stream on Thursday as normal. My schedule this weekend is my normal schedule. Thursday and Saturday are Medics 2 builds. But I'm also going to do a stream on Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern. I'm going to do a Twitch Sing stream. It's been a while. We haven't done a Twitch Sing stream in a while. So I'm going to be singing some songs in Twitch with the Twitch Sings app, the karaoke app. I'm sure there are a lot of songs added since the last time I did it. So we'll hopefully have some fun songs to sing on Wednesday. But that'll be the next stream. Wait, cut off one of the fangs and make it a tsundere fang. Ooh, Sasabi, that's a good idea. Yeah. The redheaded fire magician in Didn't I Say to Make Our Abilities is a fangirl, because of course she is. Yeah, I'm gonna do it, y'all. I'm gonna do it. We're gonna make this not a vampire or a beast. We're gonna make this a tsundere girl with one fang, like the girl from Food Wars. Yes, indeed. Or Tama from Slow Start, one of my favorite fangirls, because Tama is just a sporty young lady. Oh, Slow Start, you were so fun. All right. Well, this one isn't as good as the other one, so off it goes. We're doing it. No backing out. Goodbye. Goodbye, Fang. You are a Fang. We got just one Fang. Just a pumpkin with one Fang. We got to clean up over there, here, anyway. Whoa, whatever. Yes, the tsundere animal girl. Tama is from Slow Start is more of just a fun animal girl, like fun, breezy girl raised by her grandmas, one of which is related to my blood. The other is just a lady she also calls grandma because her grandmother is gay. And nobody thinks that's weird because everyone is fucking gay in Slow Start. All right. There. There. Uh yeah. Great. It's a fang. And let's put the head on, put the lid on, the lid on. Oh, that's a pumpkin, my friends. That right there, friends, that's a pumpkin. The head does not like the angle that I am showing it off on, the overhead. I'll just do this. It's a pumpkin. I made a pumpkin. Hello. Uh, so that's gonna do it for the stream. I'm not gonna finish that. I'm not doing that. I'm just seeing it now because my Twitch is the delay is small, y'all, but there is a delay between me and what you see. So I just looked over and saw myself doing the outro like this. That's very fun. Now I'm going to see it again. Yeah, that's real good and dumb. So we are going to go to an ad at the end. Please, if you can, watch the ad. If it shows up for you, watch it because that's money and that's nice and it doesn't take much. Next stream, as I said, Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Twitch Sing stream. I'm going to be singing the hits and weird songs and good songs and bad songs. And then Thursday and Saturday, normal build stream. Thank you all for hanging out. Have a great night. As I said, I'm about to go into an ad. It is only a 30-second ad. Watch it if you can. You don't have to. Bye-bye.